Hello, everyone, and welcome to Miss Sharon's Reading Corner. I am Miss Sharon, and I want to say, welcome, friends. Hi. Today, we're going to do something special. We're going to guess what's the name of our story. I'm going to sing a finger play, and I want you to listen closely using your ears so you can listen and hear what I'm saying so you can guess what our story is about. Okay? So, I'm going to go slowly so you can think about it. Okay? Tall ears and a twinkly nose, a fluffy tail, and a hop I go. Nevaeh got it. She said a bunny. We are going to talk about a bunny. So this is my friend Vanessa, and she is visiting us today. And so let's say that finger play one more time together, okay? Tall ears and a twinkly nose, a fluffy tail, and hop I go. Yay! Thank you, friends, for saying that nursery rhyme with me. But I want to make sure that you understand that we're talking about bunnies. This is what a real bunny looks like. And sometimes we might see a bunny. It might be black, it might be white, it might be black and white, it might be brown and white. There are all different kinds of bunnies. But there are other names for bunnies. So there's something that is called a rabbit, a cottontail. So we're just going to say a few things that a bunny, other names are, but there are so many different names out there for different animals. And so sometimes we think about it and we say, oh, well, that's a bunny. Oh, well, that's a rabbit. But they are bunnies and rabbits and cottontails. And we are going to be talking about it in the form of bunnies today. We're going to be using the word bunnies, okay? So before we get started with our story, we are going to sing another song. Okay, so it's one little, two little, three little bunnies, four little, five little, six little bunnies, seven little, eight little, nine little bunnies, 10 little bunnies eating carrots. Our bunnies eat carrots. So we were singing about our 10 bunnies that eat carrots, and carrots are considered a vegetable. Okay? So we talked about a bunny who has other names and that he eats carrots. Well, in our story today, let's see what our bunnies are going to be talking about today. It's called Bunny Cakes by Rosemary Wells. We're going to be talking about bunnies, and what do you think they're going to be doing? Making cakes. You are right, Cam. We're going to be talking about bunnies making cakes. So our story is called Bunny Cakes. Now our guy name is Max, and Max has a sister, and his sister name is Ruby. What is his name again? Max. And what is his sister name, Wendy? Ruby, yes. It was Grandma's birthday. Max made her an earthworm birthday cake. No, Max, said Max's sister Ruby. We're going to make Grandma an angel surprise cake with raspberry fluffy icing. Max wanted to help. Don't touch anything, Max, said Ruby. But it was too late. Ruby sent Max to the store with a list that said eggs. Max wanted red-hot marshmallow squirters for his earthworm cake. He had wrote red-hot marshmallow squirters on the list. Okay, and he used his red crayon to write it with so that he could see it. Okay? The grocer could not read Max's writing. Eggs, said the grocer, and he gave Max eggs. A grocer is the person who works at the store and helps you check out and help you find the right things you're looking for. Max brought the eggs home to Ruby. Don't bump the table, Max. Ruby said. But it was too late. Ruby sent Max back to the store with a list that said milk. So I'm going to show you. This is what in the story, it was a bottle of milk. So sometimes when you go to grocery store, you might see them in something similar to this, or it might have a jug with a handle on it. There's all different types of bottles that the milk come in. Okay. This time Max wrote red hot marshmallow squirters in a different way. So he used his red crayon again and he wrote it again. Max hoped and hoped for his squirters, but the grocer still couldn't read Max's writing. Milk, said the grocer, and he gave Max milk. So he couldn't read it that time. Max brought the milk home to Ruby. There's a yellow line on the floor, Max, said Ruby. You can't step over that line. But Max crossed the line anyway. Over went the flour. Ruby got out her pencil. Flour. This time Max wrote red hot marshmallow squirters in the best, most beautifulest writing he knew. Max could almost taste the marshmallow squirters. Flour, said the grocer, and he gave Max flour. He used his red crayon again. Oh, when he gets to home, there's a sign on the door. When Max got home, there was a sign on the kitchen door. Max, the kitchen is no place for you, said Ruby. So she drew a circle with a picture of Max on it and put a line meaning stay out. Ruby finished up her cake. She baked it and cooled it and iced it with raspberry fluffy frosting. It needs something else, Max, said Ruby. Birthday candles, silver stars, sugar hearts, buttercream roses, wrote Ruby. Meanwhile, Max had a brand new idea. He drew a picture of red hot marshmallow squirters on Ruby's list and ran to the grocer. Could he not wait? Birthday candles, silver stars, sugar hearts, buttercream roses, said the grocer. What is this? Why, it must be red hot marshmallow squirters. Look at the picture he drew this time. He drew some red hot marshmallow, and so when you bite into it, it just squirts juice out. So he's pretty excited that the grocer understood what he wanted. Ruby cake looked just beautiful. Max went out and put caterpillar icing on his earthworm cake. So they both have a cake. So Ruby made the pretty pink one with all the different things that she needed. And then he made an earthworm one outside. Grandma was so thrilled. She didn't know which cake to eat first. She was so excited because they both put a lot of work in making those cakes. And the name of our story again is Bunny Cakes. And who was the two friends in our story? They were brother and sister. It was Max and Ruby. Very good, Dash. And so they was brothers and sisters. And what were they making? They was making a cake. Who was they making the cake for, Shay? For Grandma. It was Grandma's what? It was her birthday. It was Grandma's birthday. You are so right. You are very good listeners. And so when he went to the store and his sister had wrote on a yellow sheet, what did she write? She wrote eggs. And then what did he write? He wrote red marshmallow squirters. But the grocer couldn't read that. And so the next time he went home and what did he do? he bumped the table. And what fell off the table? The milk. And so Ruby told him to go back to the store and get milk. And he rolled again. What did he put there? He used it and he made his red hot marshmallow squirters. But the grocer couldn't read it, could he? So he gave him milk. Then he went home and she had drew a line on the floor. And she said, "Don't cross that line, Max." And he crossed the line. And what fell on the floor? Flour. You guys are such great listeners. Very good, Heather. And so there was flour on the floor. So Ruby wrote on a note, flour. And then what did Max do? He wrote on there again of his red hot marshmallow squirters. But when he went to the store, the grocer said what? Flour. Very good, Carmika. So he went home again. And then this time, Ruby said, "There's something missing. We need something else for the cake." They needed birthday candles and silver stars and sugar hearts and buttercream roses. And this time, he drew some red hot marshmallow squirters. And when he went there, the grocer knew exactly what his picture was. And this time, he gave them to him, didn't he? Yes, he did. What did he do? He went home, he gave his sister all the things she asked for, and then he went outside and he put on caterpillar frosting and he had his red hot marshmallow squirters. Oh my goodness, you guys are such great listeners. And the other things that we wanted to talk about is when we are in the kitchen with our families. So, first, what is this picture of? It's a birthday party. What do you think they singing to him? You think they're singing happy birthday? I think so too. You want to sing? You want to sing happy birthday, Derek? Okay, let's sing one note of this. And so we didn't write the words to this song, but we're gonna sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. We're gonna call him Kevin. Kevin, happy birthday to you. But who was having a birthday in our story today? It was Grandma. So, in our other pictures, when we're talking about working in the kitchen, usually when we work in the kitchen, we work with a grown up. So, we work with either our mom or our dad, and we help in the kitchen. But when we're using a knife, a big person uses the knife. Okay? And so sometimes when we get a little bigger, we might get to use the knife or a plastic knife if mom or grandma or grandpa or dad is in the kitchen with us. So she has a little plastic knife where she is cutting bananas. And she is taking her time about cutting them. So the other picture is here are two sisters in the kitchen with their mom, and she's using a knife and she's spreading peanut butter because they're having snacks. Then I have another picture of someone with maybe that's her dad, and they are snapping beans. And so beans are a vegetable that we eat, and they are so good. Now, and when we talked about our bunny cakes and we talked about Max and Ruby being sisters and brother, they were very having a good time working and making cakes for Grandma's birthday. And Max was learning to communicate. So he first wrote on his paper, just he was thought he was writing like his sister, and the man at the grocery store or lady, they couldn't understand his writing. So another way to communicate is by drawing pictures. So Max drew a picture